back it up, ooh, back it up.
Back it up, I put on a show, I be acting up. If he ain't got no bread, I'm packing up. I need a rich nigga with a bankroll just so I can add it up. Say ho, my nigga got him an a-hole. He gon' listen and do what I say so. He know I'm only after the.
Hi, I'm Taty and welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome home, and if you're a new subscriber, make yourself at home by clicking that subscribe button. The wait is over and the video is finally out. Can we give a round of applause? Because honey, this has been a long time coming. So if you've been on my channel long enough, you know that I made a video back when we were on lockdown about what happened to the Kiara Angels, and that got a decent amount of traction. And from the feedback that I got, I actually put some people on to some people, and I answered a lot of questions that people didn't have the answer to for years. I got to work with Kiara himself. I haven't really touched bases with him since I made that video, but I hope he's doing well. But either way, y'all really liked that video, and I honest to God thought that I wasn't gonna make another video like that until today. One day I was just bored and I was scrolling on Twitter, and then I had seen this post that said, remember when Instagram was in this era? And then I seen Shania, and everything just kind of flowed back after that. So of course I went down a rabbit hole and voila, we have a video. So if you guys are interested, please stay tuned. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Actually, before we get straight into the video, I want to put a disclaimer out there. This video is for entertainment purposes and possibly educational purposes. I'm not really sure, but this is not made with malicious intent. I will be regurgitating information that was made publicly, whether that was by blog pages, tea pages, or from these people themselves. There will be some moments where it is strictly hearsay. So please do not jump down my throat if you hear something that you don't like, okay? Also, there will be some people that I will be mentioning in this video that are not in the spotlight. To my knowledge, I don't think they want to be, so I will respect that. But again, this is for educational entertainment purposes. So if you get brought up in this video, it is not to embarrass you. It's not to open up a can of worms. It's not to get all these people to be on your nuts and harass you. That's not what I'm trying to do. This is literally for fun. So yeah, this is not meant to defame anyone's character. This is not meant to make anybody upset. And this is definitely not to disrespect anybody's boundaries. So if you are mentioned in this video and you wish you weren't affiliated with Charm or with a specific topic, I apologize. But again, it is not with the intent to harm anybody. It is just for entertainment. So I'm gonna just let you know, if you're gonna get offended, just click out the video now. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're gonna get offended or you're gonna feel some type of way, just click out the video, sis. It's okay. But we're gonna be telling the truth. We're gonna be telling what happened. So just be prepared. Okay, for real this time. With that being said, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so the first thing that we have to talk about is who exactly is WeRCharm, because some of y'all probably don't know these girls from a can of paint. WeRCharm is a pop R&B group that originated in Atlanta, Georgia, that was started by a woman named Shonda Walls. This group was formed back in 2010, and the word charm is actually an acronym for confident, humble, artistic, ready, and motivated. Despite their young ages, they definitely found moderate success in their career, mainly from the help of their presence on the social media app Instagram during its very early years. During what I would consider their prime time, which is like 2013 until now, they've managed to release an EP and 9 singles. During their careers, they have been affiliated with the OMG Girls, Mindless Behavior, Jacob Lattimore, Reginae Carter, and even big artists today like Lotto, back in the very early stages of their careers. So in other words, they had clout. So with them being affiliated with celebrities like this, being booked for multiple shows, and having so many followers on their social media platforms, what exactly happened to them? Because ultimately, we never got a tour, we never got an official album, and there's probably a decent amount of people that don't know who Charm is, period. Plus, I'm making this video, so clearly something happened. So let's find out what exactly happened to WeRCharm. So we will be talking about a lot of situations that held the group back from being as successful as they could have been. Ultimately, these contributed to the downfall of the group. So the first thing that I want to address, which is probably the biggest elephant in the room. If you noticed, when I told y'all the history of Charm, I did not list the group members. And if you paid attention to the pictures, you would see that the group members have changed, right? That's one of the problems. That was one of the things that contributed to the downfall of Charm, and I'm gonna explain. So I will be listing every single member that has been in the group Charm since its conception. I'm about to give y'all a timeline and everything, so just hold on tight. Also, I won't be referring to anybody by their stage names because there's like 2 incidences where like a previous member has the same nickname as the new member, and I think that's just gonna be confusing if you weren't there and you can't put a name to a face. So we're gonna be using people's legal names. Sorry. But anyways, let's go through it. So from 2010 to 2011, the group consisted of Tatyana, Shania, and this lovely lady who I cannot identify for the life of me, but shout out to her. And at this time, they were actually referred to as the Charm Girls and not WeRCharm. So around 2011, the unidentified member had left Charm and in came the member Jiah, and she stayed until about November 2012. So now the year is 2012, and this is where things kind of got confusing for me, but I tried to follow the timeline as close as possible. And that's because in 2012, Jiah left the group, and for a brief period of time, Kodie joined the group. Kodie was there for a brief period of time, and then eventually Sydney had got added to where it was Tatyana, Shania, Kodie, and Sydney. But then there came a point in time where Kodie left and in came Trinity. The group that was Tatyana, Shania, Sydney, and Trinity lasted all the way until 2013, and that was really the beginning of Charm really becoming like Instagram influencers and people really sitting down listening to their music and paying attention to them. But by 2013, Tatyana and Syd left the group and actually began to start their own girl group. So now in November 2013, I think it was on Thanksgiving Day, I'm pretty sure it was exactly on Thanksgiving Day in 2013, Charm had announced that they had new members. They had 3 new members. So at this phase, they are referred to as WeRCharm, and the members consist of Autumn, Peyton, Shania, Taylor, and Trinity. But by 2014, Taylor leaves the group. Within that same year, they get a new member named Xiamara, and this is the phase of Charm that most people are familiar with. Not to mention, they were the most successful version of the group thus far. But again, 2016 comes and 3 of the members leave. Xiamara and Autumn left around the same time, and shortly after, Peyton decided that she was going to part ways as well. So after this, Shania and Trinity were the only ones left, and they actually decided to go on as a duo, still under the name WeRCharm. Then that same year, they ended up adding new member Jiah, and now they are a trio. But eventually Jiah leaves, and they decide they want to go back to being members of 4. So in comes members Kash and Journey. But then eventually Kash and Journey leave and they decide they want to go back to 3 members. So by 2018 to 2019, the group had consisted of Shania, Trinity, and Destiny. But for whatever reason, that didn't work out. Destiny ends up leaving, and by this point, Kash and Journey come back to the group. But not only are they back in the group, there's also a 5th member that joins named REJ. And the gag of it all is that REJ was actually previously in the group that previous member Tatyana and Sydney had formed. Honey, that was a moment to be on Instagram. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That was a moment. After that, Charm had released 3 singles. That was from 2014 to 2016 Charm. And after that, it was just, that's it. The group disbanded after that. Whew, child. That was a lot. That was a whole lot. So let's talk about why this is an issue, just in case you aren't aware. So the first issue is the fact that with all of these group member changes, Charm never really had a face to the group, unless you want to count Shania. But the thing is that Shania is not a solo artist. She was a part of the group, but yet she is the only recognizable face out of the whole entire history of the group because she's the only one that's been consistent. Now the issue with this is that if I gathered 100 people into a room and I asked them name the members of WeRCharm, there's gonna be a decent amount of people that are going to refer to Autumn, Peyton, Trinity, Shania, and Xiamara. But all in all, there's gonna be so many people that are not on the same page. So many people that came in at different eras, you know? And don't get me wrong, change is not bad. Members change in groups all the time. And I'm gonna put myself out there. I was a fangirl, okay? I used to be a huge fan of Mindless behavior. Yes, I was a part of Team Mindless. Yeah, that was me. That was me. And even Mindless behavior had changes in their group before they just decided to disband. But the thing is that it wasn't that many. It was not that many. So let me just explain what I mean by giving a face to your group. Now, typically, when you think of the Jackson 5 consisted of Michael, Marlon, Jackie, Jermaine, and Tito. Later, it was changed to Michael, Marlon, Jackie, Tito, and Randy because Jermaine decided that he wanted to leave. But if you were to go on Google right now and search up the Jackson 5, who is the main source that you're going to see? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be Michael, Marlon, Jackie, Jermaine, and Tito. Of course, Randy is going to be added into the mix because there was a point in time where he was a part of the Jackson 5. But predominantly, the face of the Jackson 5 is Michael, Marlon, Jackie, Jermaine, and Tito. The Supremes consisted of Florence, Mary, and Diana originally, and there came a point in time where it was just Diana, Mary, and Cindy. But a lot of people don't know that there was even a point in time where the Supremes were actually 4 members, and it was Florence, Mary, Diana, and Betty. There was even a point in time where Diana Ross wasn't a part of the group at all, and she got replaced by a woman named Jean. And a lot of people don't recognize that group at all. The Supremes actually went through 3 different name changes along with 3 different members of their group. And yet again, if you go on Google and you Google the Supremes, you're gonna see Florence, Mary, and Diana, or you're gonna see Mary, Diana, and Cindy. Sometimes you might even see Betty, sometimes you might even see Jean, but nonetheless, when you Google the Supremes, you're gonna get the Supremes. When people think of Destiny's Child, they tend to think of Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle. But there's a good amount of people that remember LaToya, Latavia, Beyonce, and Kelly being in the group. And there's even some people that remember Farrah being in the group. But nonetheless, if we were to talk about Destiny's Child as a whole and go on Google, you're going to see pepper flakes of Farrah. You're going to see the pepper flakes of Destiny's Child with 4 members. But nonetheless, Destiny's Child always had a face. Now let's compare this to Charm. Notice how when you go on Google, there's 5 different variations of the group as the very beginning searches, as the very top searches. Google doesn't even know the members of Charm. So if there was a child that decided that they wanted to do a research report on girl groups from the 2010s, they would be just as lost because who and what is Charm? There's too many different variations. And from what I was able to see, it was even confusing for the fans because there was a point in time where they made an edit picture of the group Charm back when it was only 4 members and somebody confused Sydney for Kodie. So you can't even say that I'm tripping. I mean, I know I'm not, but you can't even say it. But besides that, let's go on to the second issue as to why the members changing so frequently is an issue. Now, if you have a brain, if you have common sense, you would definitely be able to look at this and be like, okay, something's up, because why are these members just being changed out so frequently? Anybody would look at that and be like, that's suspicious. But what makes it even more suspicious is that there was like, 2 separate occasions where members of the group left and had nothing but negative things to say about their experience being with Charm. That does not look good in any way, shape, or form. And the third reason why this is a huge issue is because even your fans are tired of it. So the few people that would have still been supporting you, regardless of what was going on with your group, they don't even want to support you anymore. They're becoming exhausted, they're becoming tired of the shenanigans, and they starting to look at you like your haters looking at you. I have to say, one of the biggest things about being in the entertainment industry, whether you are an influencer, a YouTuber, a singer, songwriter, rapper, whatever, you gotta know when to call it quits. You gotta know when to walk away from a project because it's just not doing you good. Because this, trying to keep Charm alive after it was very much dead, did way, way, way more damage to the brand and the legacy of Charm than it did good. So I gotta say, the members changing so frequently was the biggest downfall of Charm. So now let's talk about the second obstacle that I feel like contributed to Charm's downfall. So let's take it back to 2012. Charm is starting to get a little bit of clout. They starting to bubble up. They got their little fan base, you know, like they starting to really climb up there, right? For some reason, I don't know why, But they decided that they wanted to do covers to various different artists and various different songs. Nothing wrong with that. I highly advise that if you are trying to be a singer, do as many covers as you can. But they decided that they wanted to do a cover to Keep Her on the Low by Mindless Behavior. Now, like I briefly mentioned, I used to be a part of Team Mindless, and I know Team Mindless is ruthless, disgusting, and rude when it came to protecting the boys. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't one of those people, but it wasn't that bad. Like, some of them was just, child, they was doing too much. I only defended my boys when I felt like he was coming for them. But yeah, nobody really was messing with anybody that was willing to mess with the boys. Like, we just didn't go for that. But with this, it wasn't even that you were messing with the boys. It's just that the cover was bad. I'm sorry, but the song was terrible. Not only was the audio bad, but honestly, the video wasn't really all of that. The vocals, they was struggling a little bit, and I ain't trying to bully nobody, but that choreography too. So long story short, they got bullied by Team Mindless. It's certain members, well, former members of Team Mindless that are still blocked by Charm members to this day because of that situation, like literally. But I cannot lie. I cannot lie to y'all. I really don't think that Team Mindless was mad at them because
you can't touch mindless behavior. You're not supposed to sing mindless behavior songs.
It wasn't like that, because there were actually plenty of people that did covers to Mindless Behavior songs, and you know, we just went with it. It was cool. Like, there's nothing wrong with covering a song. One artist named Anissa actually made a female version to Mrs. Right, so you know, nobody was really mad. The problem was, if you gonna do it correct and do it well. This was not it. I'm sorry, but it wasn't. It was not it. So why is this essentially one of the downfalls of Charm? Well, for starters, Mindless Behavior was very big at this time. I'm talking about huge. People don't want to give their props when it's due, but they basically were neck and neck with One Direction. They just didn't get the same recognition because they were black. We ain't even gonna talk about it in this video, but we gonna be real. That's exactly what happened. So with you doing something like that during the peak of one of the biggest bands, oh, you got your notoriety. You got your clout. You got your attention. It just wasn't positive. But yeah, I feel like that definitely kind of wrote them off, because that was a huge demographic of young girls that could have potentially rocked with Charm. And you just kind of ruined it for yourself with that one. But another reason why that contributed to their downfall too is because I heard, because I wasn't there when all of this happened, but I had heard that a lot of the members of Charm were actually going hard. Like, I'm all for defending yourself, okay? I am all for standing up for yourself, especially because, again, Team Mindless was toxic. Team Mindless was off the chain. But from what I heard, they was going a little bit too hard, and they was doing a lot, like a lot. And one of the main things that was like their theme for their group was anti-bullying and trying to be positive, and you know, the whole confident, humble, artistic, ready, motivated, like all of that. And the things that they was saying was very you know, cutthroat. So I feel like if your group is going to be about positivity and all this other stuff, like, where's the PR? Like, again, I'm not mad at them for defending themselves. And again, I don't have any evidence to prove what they said or didn't say. I have no clue. But again, heard from the grapevine, it was not pretty. So yeah, not only was the music bad, but now don't nobody want to mess with you because you done called them a bunch of names and basically was cyberbullying people. And y'all supposed to be the sweetest girls in Atlanta. So, you know, again, I'm keeping it real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. So don't be mad at me. So now let's talk about the situation that low-key put Charm on the map. It's sad that it happened, but it happened. Let's talk about Tatyana and Sydney's departure from the group. As I previously stated, when there's a certain amount of members that keep leaving the group, it does raise an eyebrow as to what is going on with the group, what is going on with the group's management, because this can't keep happening for no reason. And this was one of the first situations where the members were very vocal about the treatment that they were experiencing. Now, everything that I'm going to say from this point on is definitely hearsay because I was never the biggest fan of Charm. I actually came in very, very, very late. And even then, I can't really say like I loved them and kept tabs on them. And then there was even a point in time where like Shania and other members kept getting their pages hacked. So I eventually unfollowed the pages because I assumed that they were still hacked. So I will be real and say like I don't have any evidence to go with this. This is all like gathered from tweets and any scraps that I could find, basically. So from what I understand, there were a lot of disagreements that were going on within the members of the group. And they were really petty things that were never fully specified, but it was always agreed upon that some of the things were petty. And due to these disagreements, Tatyana and Sydney decided that they no longer wanted to be a part of Charm and they wanted to split ways. Now, something like this should not start drama, but apparently it just was like drama. So from what I had heard, the issue itself was the fact that not only did Tatyana and Syd leave the group, they actually were creating their own girl group, Nlyss, right under their noses. So while they're still booking performances, doing recordings and music videos with Charm, they were hosting auditions for their new upcoming girl group. So I will say, yeah, if that was the case, that was messy. That was very, very messy. And I don't agree with that from a professional standpoint. Because if you go and separate, okay, separate, you know, like, go ahead. But to do something like that is very problematic because you're basically burning a bridge. Like, nobody's gonna be like, oh, it's all good vibes over here. We wish you nothing but the best. Like, that was messy. That was very backstabby. And then not only that, the worst part about it, Tatyana and Shania were actually like this. I don't want to put words into nobody's mouth, but from what I saw, they were best friends and they had been around each other since they were young kids. So not only from a professional standpoint was that like really messy to do, but then to do that to your childhood longtime friend, I would be pissed too. I would feel some type of way too. Like, that's crazy. But what makes this situation worse, why on earth this separation and this one specific beef go on for so many years? Like, what? So this one situation caused a rivalry between the group Nlyss and between WeRCharm. So allegedly, former member Tatyana was so upset with whatever situation was going on between them that she basically ended up leaking private photos of member Trinity. How we get here? That's what I want to know. Whatever was going on between y'all, how it get to that? Like, I'm very lost on that. I'm very confused about that because that disturbs me. And the worst part about it is that member Trinity was the youngest in the whole entire lineup. So when she had joined this group, she was about, I don't want to lie, but she was about like what, 11 or 12 years old, while the rest of them are still in high school. All of them were children, but this was a child. That is not okay to do. And from what I had heard, it wasn't even that big of a deal. It was like she was in the shower or getting out the shower, and then she was like, it was one picture where she was on the toilet. So it's like, they're not even like, you know, like explicit, but she was bare nonetheless, and she's a child. So how we get here? How did we get here? And first of all, why did you even have those photos? Like, I'm just confused. But again, it's alleged. And then it was a point in time where she allegedly had revealed that Shania had did something strange in a movie theater once. And that, according to Shania, isn't even true. And then 3 years later, yes, you heard me correct, 3 years later after this situation happens, it got to a point to where Tatyana and Trinity got physical with each other.
We not jumping in. Y'all not gonna have cameras for one. I have an image. You're about to put that down. WeRCharm over. It's over. Your image is done. That doesn't matter. Your image is done. Your image is a rap. Your image is a rap. I don't know. I mean, what's good? Like, keep my motherfucking name out your mouth.
Why she fucking sneak her? That's some lame shit.
She said was good. Exactly. We fought. Cool.
So you could've.
First, I would like to start off by saying I am sorry to my fans for the way I acted. Do I regret it? Honestly, no, because I felt like I was being bullied. I mean, the situation could have been handled differently, but I feel like it was just too much over so many years. It was so much name calling, cyberbullying. It was just a lot, like, and everyone has their breaking point to where they get fed up, and I got to that point to where I got fed up. So I'm sorry for the way I acted towards my fans, like, to you guys, if you guys was like, dang. But I'm here to let you know, never let anyone push you to that point, or never let anyone push you to the edge of no return. Like, always do you. Like, just don't let anyone cyberbully you or push you to that. I'm teaching you guys, stick up for yourself. Stick up for yourself, because it's gonna help in the long run. I'm not saying fight. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying make sure you know that cyberbullying is not okay. Make sure you know you have to stick up for yourself. Like, don't let anybody just run all over you. And that's basically what I got across from that. And for the people who do look up to me, you have to realize I am not perfect. I make mistakes too, and I feel like I got to my boiling point. Would I recommend that? No. But you have to realize I'm going through life and I'm growing up just as you guys are growing up. So I'm going to make mistakes down my path. So I want you guys to realize that. And everyone always says words don't hurt, but words do hurt. And at a point, it's just like you can't take it anymore. Like, words honestly do hurt. And you wouldn't want somebody calling you fat or broke or ugly, even though you know that's not true. It's just like, what did I do to deserve what you're calling me, or what did I do to, like, deserve that?
Now, I will say, from the perspective of Tatyana, it did seem like Trinity was kind of like throwing stones and then hiding her hand when things got serious. But again, how did we get here? What you did was sneaky, what you did was wrong, but how the hell did we get here? This then went too far. It been went too far, but now it's just really too far. Like, all of this should not be happening because of a group breakup. That's ridiculous. So let's address why this was a setback as well. Number one, this is basically a case of CP. Basically, you can go to jail for that. Even as a child yourself, you can go to jail for that. And supposedly, Trinity and her family were pressing charges because of this situation. Now, where did that go? I don't think it went anywhere, because there was nothing said about it after it was said. So I don't think they ever really took it to court, but nonetheless, yeah, it became a serious situation. So that's number one. That just looks bad. So that's number one. Number two, at this point in time, the climate of social media and a lot of people's brains, they did not care about victims of any type of crime if they were women. Read between the lines if you have to, because I don't want YouTube coming for my neck. But yeah, they didn't care about any crimes that were committed towards women. So even though it wasn't Trinity's fault that these pictures were out and she wasn't the one that posted it herself, it made a lot of people look at her very differently and basically, you know, call her all types of derogatory terms. Not only that, I don't know if that was done on purpose or not, but there were a lot of people that assumed that Trinity was about the age of 16, just like the rest of the group members. The rest of the group members were in high school, and she was the only one that was still in middle school. So people were definitely looking at her like, oh, that little girl is fast, basically. And again, not fair, but it was the climate that we were living in at that time. Not to mention, I feel like this situation, how can I say this without getting attacked by YouTube? Basically, they had schmexualized her. Let me see if that works. So now it's a bunch of people that just see her as raunchy and out there and just raw. And it's like, she's not even, well, I don't know her personally, but like, she ain't even like that. Again, it was never her fault. It was never her fault. So why did that happen in the first place? But that was just the world we were living in. So of course that made Trinity look bad, and it made Charm look bad. So now, because of this, Trinity is up under a microscope. So everything that she does is being critiqued. Everything that she does is being criticized. And with her being so young, that was a really sad thing to witness. Even in the video where her and Tatyana ended up getting physical, the first thing that she says in that video is that she wants people to stop recording because she has an image to uphold and she doesn't want her reputation to be destroyed.
I'm not gonna have cameras for one. I have an image. You're about to put that down.
That's how you know that situation definitely got up under her skin, because Tatyana pulled up with multiple girls. Not sure how many, but she pulled up with multiple girls. You could have possibly got jumped. You could have had anything happen to you. And the first thing that leaves your mouth is that you don't want your reputation to be tainted. That's sad. Like, that's really sad. Like, that ain't cool. Okay, that's just not cool. So yeah, this definitely made people look at Charm very, very differently, because now they're just assuming that all of them are fast. They're just assuming that all of them are aggressive. So now all they do is basically just be what was referred to as thoughts. I don't think YouTube knows about thoughts. We should be good. But basically they were being referred to as being aggressive and being in drama all the time. So again, the reputation of Charm has just been tainted. So after the situation with Tatyana and Sydney dies down for the time being, everything is pretty much going good for Charm. Everything is very silent, copacetic. Charm is releasing webisodes, they're releasing music, they're doing shows, they're like uploading pictures of them practicing for performances. Everything is going good, and then on July 31st, 2014, out the blue, former member Taylor uploads this. As of today, I am not in Charm, unfortunately. I'm sorry to let my fans down. At the end of the day, it wasn't my fault. If y'all have any questions as of why I'm not in it, DM me. But I hope you all will still support me even though I'm not in the group anymore. No hard feelings. I did enjoy it while it lasted, but see y'all later in the long run. Charm has another side and they are not who they appear to be, except for they fall for Autumn. She's a true friend. People always try to get at her, but she's the realest out of Charm. No shade is thrown, and you live and you learn. But I wish the best for them. What just happened? I don't even think I have to tell y'all that this damn near shut down Instagram. This was crazy. Now this I was present for, but I did forget like certain tidbits. So I just want to say that before we get into the rest of this stuff. But yeah, that was a day. That was a day. Okay, so of course, with this statement being said, Peyton and Shania go out of their way to defend themselves. I don't remember what all was said, but I know for a fact Peyton was going the hardest. She was not going for none of that, okay? And according to what Peyton and Shania had said, again, I'm just remembering off the top of my dome, not sure who said what, but basically the members of Charm were saying that there was no real issue. Taylor just said that to get a rise out of people, but the real issue was that her and her mother were trying to take over the group essentially. Again, all alleged, all based off of hearsay. But basically it was a situation where her mom was just trying to run the group and make it seem like Taylor was the lead singer. And one thing about this version of the group at this time, there were multiple people who could sing. Autumn, Peyton, and Taylor were technically the lead singers, and Shania and Trinity were the rappers of the group. So they felt like Taylor and her mom were just trying to overstep and take over, and they decided to leave because they couldn't run them anymore. Also keep in mind, Shonda Walls is Shania's mother. Majority of the WeRCharm management were the parents of these children. So there were even reports that Taylor's mom was disrespecting their moms. And in the process of disrespecting their moms, they were also disrespecting their children. So everything was just going left at this point, because why are we in another scandal that quick? From this point, it was maybe like a year or possibly even 6 months since the situation with Trinity and Tatyana had happened. So of course, people are looking at this situation like, okay, what's up with Charm? Because this is ridiculous. Like, this is the third member to come out and say that they had an issue with y'all. But y'all, it gets worse. Because at this point, it's not hearsay and it's not just a disagreement. The next thing that Taylor decides that she's going to upload is this. Pictures will be revealed of Trinity burning my arm and we will be pressing charges soon. Violence? Violence came from Charm. My mother defended herself from their so-called investors' violence. So now we're talking about physical assault. Oh, this just got deep. So now at this point, everybody's looking at this situation. Everybody is looking at Charm because why was she burned? What's going on? And the fact that she's now specifying that, yeah, my mom defended herself against management. She defended herself against your mother because of me, because y'all assaulted me first. Like, everything just went left at this point, because when did we get here? And to make matters worse, Taylor didn't even get the chance to upload the pictures. Someone else did. I'm not fully sure who did it because, again, it's kind of fuzzy for me, but nonetheless, somebody else uploaded the pictures before she even got to upload the pictures. And that was basically them trying to like retaliate, I guess, and be like, oh yeah, she tripping. This is the photo of the burn. It wasn't that serious. But honestly, that made the situation worse. Now, I'm not sure if I can even show y'all the pictures because there is one picture where you can see that her skin is actually open. So I'm going to try to blur that out. But the pictures actually just made the situation worse because, number one, you're trying to downplay it like it's not a serious burn. And honey, if you ever got burned before, every burn is serious. That's number one. But number two, her skin is literally open. It's literally open. That's a serious thing. Then it's the fact that you uploaded the pictures before she did. So that kind of looked like, you know, like that just don't look good on y'all part. But of course, Taylor didn't go for it. She uploads the pictures herself, the same exact pictures, and she captions it. We really need to stop the bullying, and jealousy is a disease. When I press charges, y'all will see how real it is. Let me burn y'all with a 400-degree curling iron, and then y'all let me know if the burn wasn't that bad. But guess who sent it to my mom though? WeRCharmManagement. I guess people couldn't wait till 1. They had to let y'all know the truth, right? And at this point, Taylor ain't stopping. She also goes on to say, y'all want to know why she burnt me? Over jail. And guess who instigated it? Peyton. Oh Lord, look what the world coming to. A 3rd-degree burn. On purpose too. Y'all, look what Charm condoning. Y'all promote no bullying and no violence in sisterhood. And this is what you do to a member of the group. Baby burn. Let me burn y'all with a 400-degree curling iron and see how bad a baby burn is. Thanks for helping me promote the true charm. It's funny how everyone taking this as a joke. And I know we have groupies in this world, but this is a sick person who burned someone over jail. Look at the big picture. Now, of course, by this point, everything is deleted. This is just what was left over on the internet. So I don't have the full caption, but there also is a caption that went with one of the pictures. And it reads, sorry you had to hear it from me, but the question is, why do members of Charm keep leaving? And of course, at this point, Charm is getting the boot, honey. They are on their necks at this. So Peyton is on Twitter defending herself, saying, sad to see how a friend can turn on you and try to make you look bad. A fan responds to that tweet, but we can't see it because the account is suspended. And Peyton's response is, we didn't turn on her. It wasn't our choice. She didn't purposely try to scar the girl. Stop coming at me like you know the story. You weren't there. Seemed like you were coming at me. But yes, we all understand and understood that Trinity was wrong and Trinity apologized. She says, even though I don't think we'll ever be close how we used to, I wish the best for her and I support what she does in her future. The next day, she responds back to a fan again, and she says, I didn't instigate anything. I was putting on mascara during that situation. It happened in February. We already moved past that. Now, of course, we got to get the tweets from Taylor. At the end of the day, no one will truly know the story because it's deeper than what people really know. I'ma just do me at the end of the day. Real talk. Going to get focused, no hard feelings. At the end of the day, I don't regret anything I said. If I blocked certain people, it was for a reason. People so fake, man, it's crazy. And the next day after the situation, she uploads more tweets. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, I'm good. I'ma always stay classy at the end of the day. Keep talking about me, that's just free promotion. Still going, oh Lord. If the shoe fits, wear it, that's all I'ma say. And to cap it all off, her last post on Instagram about the situation, hypocrites. Hypocrite, noun, a person who pretends to be what he is not. Now, honey, this is a situation, okay? This is deeper than what anybody could have pictured. And similar to the Tatyana and Sydney situation, it did not stop there. It continued on after that. Things were quiet for a second, but then when Charm added Xiamara to the group, they uploaded their most popular single, Glow Up, and that opened up another can of worms. Charm was now being accused of using Taylor's vocals and pretending that it was Xiamara's. And at this point, Taylor's sister is the one that started arguing with Charm on Twitter. So I don't want to mess up her name, so I'm just going to refer to her as Taylor's sister for the rest of this time period. But Taylor's sister goes on to respond to a fan on Twitter, and she says the song Glow Up was pre-recorded. In response to this allegation, Shania chimes in and she says, no, Z re-recorded the song. Taylor is just claiming it to be her because it's getting more hype than her own song. Because by this point, Taylor actually did release her own single. Now, at this point, Taylor was apparently going off on Twitter and saying and doing a lot of stuff, but those tweets have since been deleted. But allegedly, she referred to either Peyton or the rest of the group of Charm as being broke, and honey, all hell broke loose. So Peyton goes on Twitter and she says, broke? Y'all, I'm sorry. That sent me. That sent me when I read it, because that's all I could hear was like Soulja Boy.
Drake? Drake?
But no, for real, Peyton says broke with mass laughing emojis. Peyton goes on to say, but you the one who stole money from me and stole Shania's clothes. A fan asks who? Peyton responds, the girl that used to be in Charm throwing shots. Remember when you went to Applebee's, ordered your food, ate it, then told us you ain't have no money? So I paid for it, but I'm broke. Remember when you ain't have no money to buy your food when you was over my house? Hold that down. Remember when you ain't have no money for the hotel in Alabama? Hold that down. But I'm broke? Never that, baby girl. And supposedly Taylor had said something about somebody mama. So Peyton came back and she says, don't ever disrespect my mama. At this point, her and Taylor's older sister are going at it bad. So Peyton responds to her saying, what are you talking about? You sound dumb. You are the last person to talk about somebody's mom. Aren't you like 21? Stop arguing with me. Older sister says, then stop subtweeting about the fam. If you put ish out, I'm going to put your ish out. I think that's what she was trying to say. She done tripped me up, child. So Peyton says, your sister is the one who was throwing shots. Let's not forget. Older sister responds, look at Tay's tweets. There is no shots being thrown. We don't bother you, so why are you so obsessed? Peyton goes on to say, fight your own battles. Older sister comes back and says, exactly, where you at? And there comes a point in time where a fan actually responds to Taylor in defense of that statement and says, your sister made this disrespectful picture and you retweeted it. Now this is a depiction of Shrek and Shonda Walls, the creator of WeRCharm and also Shania's mother. So it's safe to say that on both sides, people were saying and doing a lot. Now, I couldn't find the video anywhere, but I remember when this situation was happening, Xiamara actually uploaded a video on her Instagram of her singing Glow Up a cappella. So she's just like, girl, I'm debunking this. I'm not gonna argue with you, but you're not gonna lie on my name. I live for it. So after that upload, things just died down after that and everybody decided to be quiet and move on. Whew. Now, let's dissect this issue. So first and foremost, the obvious. Y'all were just in a situation not too long ago. And now another member is coming out saying that they were mistreated by y'all or y'all management. But then for it to get to the point where someone is being physical and then there's evidence of it. Again, not a good look for y'all. Very, very, very bad look. And piggybacking off of what Taylor said, which is the same thing that I said earlier. If your brand is going to be anti-bullying, what are we doing? And not only was this an issue based off of that alone, but it also just came out of left field. It came out of nowhere. Like I said, this was basically the prime time of Charm. At this point, it seemed like the girls were genuinely really good friends with each other. They were going over each other's houses all the time, having a bunch of sleepovers. They were hanging out outside of business hours, outside of practice, outside of vocal training. At this point, there were so many people that fell in love with Taylor as a member of the group. So the fact that this happened just shook everybody up. But for it to go as far as it did also was just wow. You know, just wow. So without it even needing to be said, this just makes Charm reputation look 10 times worse because now it's pretty much solidified that they are drama and they are aggressive. And clearly it's something wrong with management. But I will say this though, from a very unbiased standpoint, I will say this. I'm kind of jumping ahead in this video, but it's also relevant. So there came a point in time where Taylor was a part of a reality show. Her and her mom were present. Now I can say that when I sat down and I actually watched that reality show, to some degree, I see where Shania and Peyton were coming from with the statements of her mom trying to take over, because even in that show, there did come multiple times where the group had to do challenges, and Taylor and her mom basically felt like they were above the rules, they were above everything that everybody else was doing, and they followed the beat of their own drum. Now, at the end of the day, none of us were there, none of us were present, nobody knows exactly what happened, but I can see it being a situation where, let's say, the issue with the clothes. Again, I'm not going to be biased. I can see where her mother was coming from as far as like wanting her daughter to dress age appropriate, because there were times where Charm kind of did, you know, get a little risky. Looking back on those photos though, it doesn't look that bad. Like, it wasn't completely outlandish. I've actually seen worse outfits now. But again, it was the climate, it was the time period that all of this stuff was happening in. There was this one time where they had like these bedazzled bralettes on and black leggings. Again, at this point in time, I've seen worse, but back in the day, those were the types of outfits that people was wearing to the club. These girls are in high school and Trinity is a whole middle schooler. What are we doing? Like, honest to God, why was that a smart choice? Also, again, not Trinity's fault, but take it into consideration that if you look at the timeline, the situation that happened with Trinity's pictures getting leaked happened when Taylor was freshly a part of the group. By this point, I don't even think they uploaded a single yet. So you have just been revealed as a new member of Charm, and then this scandal happens, and then we start making questionable choices with the outfits as if this scandal didn't just happen. Again, it's not Trinity's fault, but with this being so close together, you would think that you would, you know, kind of lay low for a second, play it safe, because you pretty much got to up your reputation again. I also want to add that before Trinity joined Charm, she was a part of a group called the Young Fly Girls, and it was clear that when she was with that group, she dressed completely different than what she did when she ended up joining Charm. Now, this isn't completely abnormal because this is usually how groups work. You always have to follow their aesthetics, and I can say that back then, again, outfits weren't that bad, but it's just very clear that there was a change in her appearance completely. So I can also see why Taylor's mom would be a little bit more enforcing with clothing choices, because it's important to teach your kids not to be followers just so they can be accepted, even if it is just to be in a music group. So I can see where her mom was concerned about their outfit choices, because that's her right as a mother, and she does have a right to speak up if she feels like things are going too far. But again, after watching that reality show and comparing it with the notes that I have, I can see it being a situation where her mother doesn't really have a issue with it being too provocative. She just has an issue with it, period, because she or her daughter personally doesn't like it. And they feel like because they don't like it, everything needs to change. Everything needs to be scrapped. Now, this is all just personal observation. This is an opinion. This is not a fact, because again, I don't know none of these people personally. But I could definitely see it being a hypothetical situation where, let's say the girls were supposed to wear neon green. They're supposed to wear neon green to a performance, and it might be like a crop top and some shorts, or just, you know, skin being shown, period. But then the day of the performance, Taylor and her mom come in and she's wearing a neon pink dress. Look like she about to go to church. And their source of defense is basically, oh, well, I felt like it was inappropriate, but on the bright side, you know, it still fits the neon theme. It's just not a neon green crop top, so we're all good, right? Like, I could definitely see them trying to pull something like that after all the things that I've been seeing. So for all we know, it definitely could have been a situation like that, and we just don't know about it. So there could be some truth behind either side, really. But nonetheless, this just looks bad on Charm, because why are there so many people that are coming out saying that y'all have done these things? And then the fact that you made it worse by uploading the pictures. If she would have uploaded those pictures, it could have been speculated that, you know, that's from all the way back in the day. She did that to herself. We don't know. But the fact that y'all uploaded the pictures first and said, yeah, see, she's being dramatic, it wasn't even that bad, that made y'all look like bullies. That made y'all look like bullies. At this point, I feel like the biggest downfall of Charm is that they need PR. Because, oh, so many things could have been prevented if we would have just been quiet on the socials. And in this same year, Charm finds themselves in hot water again. Never stops. Okay. So, December 30th, 2014, Charm is one of the opening acts for Mindless Behavior. By this point, it was definitely the end of Mindless Behavior because there was a point in time where Prodigy left and then he came back to the group. So this show was basically showcasing that Prodigy was coming back to the group. So they made it a whole big thing, got so many people involved. So in a part of this lineup was, of course, WeRCharm, and it also included a group called Tantrum, Miss Netta, Official Speed Limit, their rival Nlyss, and a group named Karma. Now, like I just said, one of the biggest downfalls of Charm is not being able to keep things off of social media and just be quiet. So as a surprise to everybody, Shania uploads a video that pretty much is incriminating the group Karma. Now, again, I was here when this happened, but for the life of me, I cannot remember every detail. I can't tell you what the video was about. I can't even find the video itself. If y'all know what happened, please comment it down below and I will pin it. That way we're all on the same page, because I genuinely don't remember exactly what happened. Either they got into a fight and Karma got kicked out, or Karma got embarrassed because somebody's wig got pulled off. I'm not 100% sure what happened, but basically Shania uploaded a video that definitely incriminated Karma. And after that, Shania uploads another video. In this video, they are essentially mocking Karma.
I'm trying to know what goes around comes around. Yes, if you treat, I'm trying to be treated. Wait, no, that's the way. But yeah, let's chuck it. Let's chuck it. Glow up. Autumn wants to say to Autumn, kiss her booty with her chicken legs. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Hey, make sure y'all glow up.
And then Trinity follows up by uploading this video.
Yep, and just to let you guys know that you should not treat others the way you don't want to be treated, because as you can see, karma is real and it comes around and gets right back at you. And while you standing outside, we in the gas station, turn it on.
And this is just a random screenshot, so I'm so sorry that I don't have the full caption. But then the WeRCharm page actually uploads a statement, and it reads, the little tiny bit that I have, it reads, "This is extremely sad. The group Karma is really great. The girls are clearly sweet, but the manager, Tamora Ahmed, has greeted our entire team with nothing but negativity and disrespect." And of course, it says something about how their team promotes no bullying. And then member Xiamara goes on Twitter and says this: "I hate people who try to play victim. No matter who tries to bring us down, Charm will always stay up. Can't bring us down." And then one of their fans posted a very lengthy rant, and I'm gonna read that to you. Not only does it involve Karma, but it also involves shots at Taylor as well, so stay tuned. So the fan says, "It's so annoying how y'all don't give Charm a chance to shine. Y'all focus so much on the bad things that you never look at the good things. What happened tonight is truly sad. Karma wants to pin everything on Charm when the evidence clearly says otherwise. Then everybody bring up Tay and whatnot. Tay is not in the group anymore. Stop bringing her up. The reasons why she left the group made no sense. Her burning plead story is BS. By the time she told everyone Trin burned her, it's clear that the burn is fully healed, so that means it happened weeks, possibly months ago. Come on now." Then she said they was bullying her. If they bullied you, why was you taking pictures with them, performing with them, attending events with them, literally a week before you left? Like, the facts is not fitting in any of them theories. Now everybody jumping on Shy because she posted that video. Heck, I would have posted that too. F your feelings. You think you can just treat anybody how you want because y'all been together for 11 months and they haven't. Y'all been together for 11 months, but nobody barely effing knows y'all. So shut the F up. I'm not just proud of my girls, unlike the last time. They didn't keep posting about it on and on. They stopped and cleared it. They're getting better at handling situations. Y'all find any little excuse to talk down about Charm. For example, how Trin dresses. Why the F does it concern you? Is she your little sister? Your cousin? Your child? No. If that's how she chooses to dress, let her be her. Talking about some, when I was 14, I was wearing Hello Kitty. But this is 2014. Who the F walking into 8th grade with some Hello Kitty shirt on with some old Navy jeans and Converse? She's 14, not 5. And if her mother doesn't have a problem with it, neither should you. And that's another thing. Whatever beef you have with Charm should not have to concern their parents. Karma got the nerve to say that Charm parents raised them to be rude. That right there would get y'all dusty looking weave pulled out. Stay in your lane, B. Same with Tay and her Shrek looking A sisters talking about people's mothers. F is your problem. This is so sickening. All these artists so focused on being on top that they forgot their dignity and manners at the bottom. I can't wait till my girls get more shows, release more videos, and finally drop an EP. Cause we need to show these petty girls that there will be no more chances and that y'all are improving and making progress. Love y'all, keep shining. It's like Jay said, at least y'all got a platform. Karma got karma up they A. So I couldn't find where Karma had said anything back to them, but I did see that they made like somewhat of a photo shoot campaign type of thing, and it's basically just a bunch of pictures of them wearing a wig and like holding wigs and being surrounded by wigs, and yeah, like it's supposed to be a statement or something. But yeah, as that fan stated, apparently Karma had released their own statement and was referring to Charm as being rude, disrespectful, and even made fun of their parents. And like I said, I don't fully remember what happened in that video, and I couldn't find the video anywhere, but the video also proved that Karma was in the wrong and Charm was apparently the victims. So 3 days after this situation, they upload their photo shoot, and the caption reads, "Love wigs. It's just sad how people can sit around and be so dang judgmental on something that the entertainment industry made acceptable, and God is truly our only judge. If you want to sing, then dang on sing. If you have dreams to dance, then go for it and dance. If you want to be the president, go for it. No one can stop you but you." Well, we do wear wigs, and we happen to like them. It helps us express ourselves in our own way, but it's a choice, not because we are forced. We have natural hair, but wigs makes us feel fabulous. So if you want to wear wigs or weave, do your thing, and don't let no one tell you that you should feel bad just being you. Then they make another upload with the same pictures that says, "We are really doing this because we met a very sweet 9-year-old with cancer and she's going through chemotherapy. We won't say her name. But everyone, she is the most beautiful angel ever lived, and some really mean people made fun of her and her wigs, not even knowing what all she been through and continues to go through. It has made her really sad and cry at night. She told us we are her favorite group ever, and we told her we wear wigs too and love it. So for her, we decided these posts and these videos being released to her, and we go public letting everyone know, yes, we wear wigs in hopes that more people will stand up and say it's okay to wear wigs, so our new friend will see we did this for her and we love her even more than words." I butchered that, but y'all seen them typos. I did the best I could. Please don't judge me. So just to give a little bit more context, I will be sharing a post that was made by one of their fans and their response to it, because like I said, don't have the official statement that they put out, don't remember exactly what happened in that video, so bear with me. So the fan makes a post and says, "So I've been looking at a group's post, not gonna say what group, but that was totally disrespectful and uncalled for. I don't like that when people see other people, they try to make a change and try to tear them down. At LoveKarma_for_life is the most positive and life-changing group I've ever discovered, and it angers me that people try to kill them with negativity, but I know they will never feed into the mess." She tags all the members of the group and says, "Stay strong and keep hope. I know you girls will make a wonderful change one day." Karma responds, "We love you so much. Thank you so much. It means so much to us to have your support, and we want everyone to know that there are mean people everywhere, no matter what you do good. There is always someone looking to tear you down, and it's easy to fight back and get on their level. It takes a really strong person to know who you are and not feed into it and give it to God and let him fight your battles. It was so hard not to throw shade back as they tried to humiliate us, but it backfired through the grace of God. What they meant for wrong, God made it right the same night. So we just thank God that he always has our backs and put people like you in our lives to love us for standing on what's right." So let me explain the issue with this situation. I don't mean this to be shady, but Karma was a fairly new group compared to Charm and other people that Charm had been working with. Not only that, they weren't really that well known. Like during this time, it was a whole lot of different girl groups. A lot of them were like really popping on like YouTube and stuff like that. So like first thing that comes to mind is like the Tutu Girls or D Squared, and even like Pretty Ambition. And like they made like a few songs and kind of disappeared. So this was during that era where like everybody was trying to be a girl group, everybody was trying to be a boy band, and they were freshly new and pretty much unknown for real. When a group like Charm, who is somewhat more established than them, is coming out and basically mocking them, taunting them, you already have a reputation of being aggressive and in drama from the two previous situations. This just makes it worse, because now this group looks like they're inferior to you and you were purposely picking on them because you know that they don't have a big fan base. Again, one of the biggest downfalls of WeRCharm is that they don't know how to keep things off of social media. Because honestly, we wouldn't have known about the situation unless somebody that was at the concert said something about it. And from what I could find, nobody was really talking about it besides like 2 people. So it does kind of look like Charm is bullying on Karma, because you're the ones that are initiating all of these things. You're the one that went out of your way to make these posts. They just look like big bullies. Then it was also a matter of like, okay, well, Nlyss was there too. You didn't handle Nlyss like how you handle Karma. So are you scared of them? But let me say this, y'all. Let me say this. Let me say this. Again, I was present when this situation happened. I remember when they were uploading the videos and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people where I also thought like, oh my God, Charm did something to somebody, they did this, they did that, because I already kind of had it programmed in my brain that like they're always aggressors in the situation, they're always doing something. But y'all, this is all alleged, okay? This is literally all alleged. This is my personal opinion, nothing more, nothing less. It's all speculation. But I did a lot of research for this video, if you couldn't tell by now. And honey, so everyone that is mentioned in this video, I have pretty much looked into all of their accounts, all of their tweets, all of their everything, okay? Let me tell you something about Karma. Again, personal opinion, alleged, all that, don't come for me. The more I did a deep dive on Karma's side of the situation and just to Karma in general, okay? I don't know if it's Karma as a group or if it's their management, but management is definitely one of those people that likes to throw stones and then hide their hand. And not only do they hide their hand, they hide behind Jesus. I'm not gonna say too much because this video is not about Karma, but all I'm gonna say is if you ever want to find it, it's available. Karma's management is real good for being very, very shady, disrespectful, and then when somebody calls them out, they just all of a sudden, we didn't say that and we believe in Jesus. Like, what's happening? I mean, even in their statement talking to their fan who was defending them, even the response was shady. The statement that you made with that photo shoot and then turned around and said, this is actually for a 9-year-old child that has cancer. It's like, it's very like a victim mentality. But then not only that, it's so many sources that are saying that they did something. Because it's not just Charm, it's even other people that are saying like, yeah, Karma did this, that, and the third. It hasn't been specified if Karma was kicked out, if Karma fought, if it was just an exchange of words. Like I said, it's not clear what the situation was, but it's too many people that are saying that y'all were the ones that did something. And then in your statements to counter those statements, you're still being shady, you're still being disrespectful. And let's talk about how if you go on Karma's socials, when you go to December 30th, 2014, that day don't even exist. Everything's wiped clean. That's suspicious. I ain't gonna lie, that's suspicious. It's a little off. Then, while I was doing my research, they were actually a part of a reality show, and it was called Miss T's Factory or Miss T's Music Factory or something like that. And there's a clip, it's on YouTube, there's a clip where she's cussing out somebody's wife because the wife defended her husband because the husband was defending his kids because she tried to talk about they kids and how they were dressed. Again, I'm not gonna go too deep into it because this has nothing to do with Karma, it has to do with Charm. But again, if you want to see exactly what I'm talking about, you can go find it. And another thing that I want to point out too, can we talk about how Autumn and Xiamara are like one of the most like calm, cool, collected people out of the whole entire group. The fact that in both of those videos, Autumn is vocal. Autumn does not get into any drama that the group gets in. She sits there She is very much, honey, I'm here for my check. I'm here for my career. I don't care about this, and I'm not going to engage with it. Like I had said earlier, Xiamara, seeing that Taylor was talking about her, she just uploaded an acapella video and was like, girl, bye. I'm not going back and forth with you. I don't know who you're waiting on, but it's not going to be me. The fact that both of these girls went out of their way to put their 2 cents in to help taunt and mock Karma, again, personal opinion, that also leads me to believe that Karma was the aggressor. Because these 2 girls do not be in mess. They do not be in mess at all. Look at the video again. Z and Autumn are breaking their necks to put their faces in the camera to laugh at them. I don't know, y'all, but 2 + 2 do equal 4 in my universe. So that's all I'm gonna say. So again, at the end of the day, none of us were physically there to be able to say who did what happened, whatever. We don't know. But all I know is the evidence points that it is a possibility that Charm was actually the victim in this situation and they just defended themselves. But because they already had the reputation that they had, nobody really checked for them or believed them when it was said. So take that how you will. So while we're on the topic of Charm being popular to dislike at this point, that brings us to our next issue. But it was so petty, it's ridiculous. Like, I kid you not, so petty. It makes me laugh. It really does. But I also see like how this contributed to their downfall. But y'all listen. So during this time, Charm had finally released their EP called The Love EP. And for the most part, it was doing pretty decent in numbers. There were enough people that was rocking with it, downloading the album, buying the album. Like, they were doing pretty good. And one day, they get a shout out from Joseline Hernandez on Instagram. And she's telling all of these people, go stream their stuff. Shout out to them. She done made like probably at least 2 different posts. Charm's professional page shared it on their Instagram, shared it on their Facebook page. It just seemed like life was looking up for the girls in their career and they were finally getting somewhere. But the gag is, Joseline is not the one that posted it. I've been talking for so long. Let me reapply my lip gloss and we gonna get into it, child, because oh my goodness. So you heard me right. Joseline Hernandez never shout them out and she never posted them. Joseline Hernandez at this time was hacked from April all the way until what? February? During this time, Joseline had been hacked for months, like months. It was on and off repeatedly. She even announced it that her page was hacked. So I want to say like what, from like December all the way until April to May, she had no access to her page. So the person that shouted out Charm was the hacker. It was basically some little kid. Nobody knew who it was. Now, the reason why this is a problem is so stupid, but I have to talk about it because it's a part of their downfall. It's a part of why their career went the way it did. So because Charm was so popular to hate, there were a lot of people that were making speculations that Charm, one of the members in Charm or possibly even management, had hacked Joseline Hernandez's Instagram to give them that shout out. Now you're probably wondering, why on earth would they do that? Basically, around this time where they released their EP, Nlyss had released their own project. Taylor, who now goes by kdiorstudios as an independent artist, was actually doing numbers with her music videos and her independent projects. And I believe during this time she had also announced that she was going to be releasing her first project. So a lot of people speculated that Charm went out of their way to hack Joseline Hernandez's page because they wanted to get more views and more purchases than Nlyss and Taylor, who are their biggest rivals. So they did that just to put them on. And what made it worse was that Joseline herself assumed the same thing. Now, she didn't know anything about Charm at all, but she just knew that somebody had hacked her page and started posting selfies of the members of Charm and shouting out Charm. So Joseline, being Joseline, the hothead that she is, she goes on Twitter and says, "My page is still hacked. It's crazy. I'm not posting those crusty little girls on my page. They are posting themselves." So at this point, everybody is pretty much like, yep, that confirms it. Charm hacked her. They did this for clout. And I'm assuming that because Joseline has said this, there was a ton of her fans, who are adults by the way, that were bullying these girls. So I'm not sure if it was on Joseline's account or if they had went and found their Twitters or went and found their Instagrams and started bullying them on there. But they were basically harassing those girls, and they were mainly coming from Xiamara, basically making comments about her being ugly, looking weird. They were laughing about the fact that she got called crusty. It was just too much going on. It even got to a point to where Xiamara started talking. So on her Twitter, it reads, "If you don't know me personally, you don't have no right to speak on what you think you know about me. I'm way too nice to be judged the way people judge me. People always make stuff up about me. When, where, and why did I do that? Because I clearly don't recall. I'm hated a lot. That sucks. I wonder why. It doesn't matter what it is, they'll hate. Like, why everybody just can't be happy about themselves? People always gotta hate on everything. I'll never be that negative person who wants to always bring negativity towards someone else's life. Instagram full of a bunch of haters who wish to have your life. Tired." Somebody called me ugly. I know they mad with life. So it's clear that by this point, Shania's over it. She's over all of this drama. She's over being in the middle of everything. She just wants the hate towards her and Charm to stop. And I can't blame her, because at this time, love and hip hop was also very, very big, and Joseline herself was the Puerto Rican princess. I don't agree with a bunch of grown adults acting like that, and I definitely don't agree with how Joseline came at them, because again, girl, you don't know who hacked your account. So I can only feel for them, because this is a very unfortunate situation. And like I said, I felt like that was a stupid reason for her page to get hacked. Like, who really about to sit there and do that? Be for real. But unfortunately, the damage was already done, and there was just nothing that Charm could do at this point. So now, this situation, I feel like, was low-key the nail in the coffin. I mean, honestly, truly, I hope not. I hope that wasn't the reason why Charm just completely gave up. I do feel like, yes, it was past due. It was time to let Charm go. But I really hope that this was not the reason why Charm just said, F it, I don't want to do this anymore. But there came a point in time where another former member of Charm spoke out against Charm. And this time it wasn't mistreatment. This time it wasn't anything physical, but it was basically downplaying Charm as a whole. So let's talk about the day that Kodie Shane decided to diss Charm. Now, I didn't want to say anything earlier because I knew y'all was going to look at them pictures and be like, wait a minute, is that Kodie Shane? I wanted to wait until we got to this point. That way we could fully explain it. So, again, yes, there was a point in time where Kodie was a part of WeRCharm. It was very short, very brief. But if you were there during the primetime Charm, which was 2014 to 2016 and even a little bit of 2013, actually way before that, Kodie had basically been side by side with Charm this whole entire time. She was in a few music videos. She used to post up with them, take selfies. They used to help promote her music and her albums and her projects, and she would do it vice versa. It's like Kodie was always an honorary member of Charm, even when she was far, far away from the group. So yeah, your eyes was not playing tricks on you. Kodie Shane, the famous rapper, used to be affiliated with Charm and was even once upon a time a member of Charm. And would you believe it? This girl went on an interview and said this.
I read that, or I heard that before you wrote for like a girl group. Was that like an R&B group?
Yeah, they was kind of weak though. Like, they was like a local Atlanta group. They was fine in Atlanta at the time. Like, when it was just started being cool to be Instagram famous.
Right.
The whole group was Instagram famous. So they was like a little.
What are they called? Have I heard of them? Allowed to say?
No, you haven't heard of them. I'm gonna come all the way clean. But they was local in the A. I'm not even throwing no shade. If any of them see this, like, I don't care. Like, y'all are whack. But what was I about to say? Like they was young, so like they had a little group and they was going viral, like in the A only, like
right.
Maybe in one neighborhood in the A, maybe not even the whole A type shit, but like, so all they fire songs, I wrote them.
Now I will say it again. I was not the biggest fan of Charm. I was not one of their biggest fans. I didn't really give a lot of their music a chance. They definitely had some bangers, but like as a whole, was I really keeping tabs on them? No. So when I say this, trust me, I am coming from a very unbiased place. Kodie was wrong for that. Kodie was wrong for that, and I'm gonna tell you why she was wrong for that. To some degree, I will agree with her and say that I feel like Charm was more so influencers than they were in their music bag. But I don't like the fact that she tried to downplay them and basically try to diss them. Like, in a sense, that's exactly what she did. She dissed them. Because, baby, you was there. The music was trash, but you was the one that was front and center. In that viral music video where they did a cover to Mindless Behavior, baby, that was you. That was you all day. That was you in the video. There's even a poster where if you look closely, it's a very old photo, so you can't really zoom in and get a clear picture. But in this picture, you can even see Kodie is in the promo photo. That's you, babe. For you to go out of your way and just completely disregard and downplay Charm like they're not the reason why you had somewhat of a fan base is absolutely crazy to me. Now, that's not saying that Kodie Shane isn't talented. That's not saying that Kodie Shane is a terrible artist, because I even listen to some Kodie Shane music. Like, I love her. But that was fake. That was fake. I'm sorry. That was fake and that was messy. I gotta start writing scripts when I make videos now, because the past 3 videos I have came in the middle of editing the video to clarify something, and that has to stop because I'm tired of just coming on camera looking like this, and it's honestly so annoying. But I just wanted to come in here real quick because I feel like this portion of the video I didn't articulate myself as much as I would have liked, so I feel like I'm not gonna get my point across, so here I am. So this is my thing with the Kodie situation. I feel like at the end of the day, again, Kodie is very much talented, and I do feel like even if she wasn't affiliated with Charm, Lil Yachty would have probably found her one day and she would have been signed and she still would have been, you know, the powerhouse that she is. But also her older sister is actually Brandy Williams, who used to be in the girl group called Black, and they was pretty decent back in the 90s. Like, they was definitely doing a thing. They were actually in the movie Bring It On. Yeah. They were in that movie. So I feel like Kodie definitely would have got her start regardless. But here's the thing. We can't deny that to some degree Charm put her on. And the reason being is because even though I like her, I can be real and say that I didn't know who that girl was until she was affiliated with Charm, and until Charm was shouting her out saying, hey, listen to her music, she's in our music video, we're going to be in hers, we're going to make a brief cameo, etc., etc. So to dismiss them and be like, oh, I didn't really mess with them, they was weak, they was whack, all I did was write little songs for them, it's kind of like, girl, do you have amnesia? Like, what? Like, hold on, because that's a little... But then not only that, again, I know none of these people personally, so Kodie would have to come out herself and say these things, or like one of the members of Charm would have to come out and say these things. But one thing that I do know is that back in the day, again, the climate of the time that we were living in, Kodie has always been very like masculine dressing and like low-key masculine acting. You know, there's still some people to this day that believe like, oh, you're too young to know if you're gay or not, or they try to like push heteronormativity onto you. And then even being in the music industry, especially being in the rap industry, they will try to push femininity, obnoxious femininity, and pretty much try to, you know, schmexualize every single female that comes into the game. I don't know what the relationship was like with Charm or Charm's management behind the scenes, but one thing that I did peep, Charm never tried to change Kodie even when she was a part of Charm. They could have easily said, oh, you gotta wear this crop top, oh, you gotta wear these shorts, oh, you gotta wear this, you gotta wear that. They let her express herself. They let her dress the way that she wanted to dress, behave the way that she wanted to behave, and they dared you to ask a question about it. And even when she left the group, there's people that are still repping you, that are still saying, look at her music video, go to her show, like, that's our sister, we love her. They could have easily been like, we don't know that girl, like, we don't know who she is. Because one thing we're not going to do is pretend like homophobia doesn't still exist. And one thing that people love to do is pretend like Atlanta is like this progressive version of the South. I mean, I guess in a way they are more progressive than majority of the South, but baby, it's still the South. It's still the South. Let's not play dumb, okay? They could have easily denied that girl and did whatever they wanted to that girl, and they never allowed it. Ever, okay? So I feel like that alone, you should be thanking them and giving them props. I'm just being real. And let's also touch on the type of music that she was making. She even admitted it in that interview that at the time she was making music that people wasn't really vibing to. The best way I can explain it is like basically the music that Lil Yachty be making right now. She been doing that. Made in Tokyo, I think that's what his name is. Listen, I be out the loop sometimes, but you know, like that kind of like tectonic, Playboy Cardi-esque, little bit of XXXTentacion type vibe. She been doing that. That was always her little niche. That was always her sound. So as far as like your personal image, you wasn't really like something that people would go for. And then even in your sound, you weren't something that a lot of people were willing to like give a chance to. But who was there every step of the way? Charm. Every version of Charm. Who allowed you to be yourself? Charm. Who repped you and gave you your props even when everybody else was sitting there like, who is this? Charm. So to downplay it, it's just like, you don't see how that was a little bit fake? Like, for real? But yeah, that's all I wanted to come on here and say. Again, it's no hard feelings. It's no shade. This is a video for entertainment purposes. Don't be offended. But again, it's my personal opinion and I said what I said. So yeah. And what makes it even crazier is that in this same time period, it was like, what, a few weeks before this interview was even released? Shania was in one of her music videos. She was one of the people that was in the music video. How you gonna turn around and talk about somebody, but you still trying to ride they wave and be as close to them as possible, and now you don't want to mess with them no more? That is crazy. Again, I love Kodie, but baby, that was fake. That was fake. I'm sorry, mama. That was fake. So you already know Shania had to step up and say something, but she was very vague with it because she didn't even want to give it any energy. So Shania tweets and it reads, "Shorty's so fake, bless her soul." Then there's a fan that says, "Then y'all promoted her music and I remember you making several videos to her music and I asked for the song name and it was her song." After that, another fan comments, but we can't see it because the account is suspended. And Shania responds and says, "She said no shade, but was throwing shade. Okay," laughing emoji. Shania, I feel you. I feel you. I might not have agreed with every single situation that you put yourself in, but I feel the same exact way. And the worst part about it is, rumor has it that Kodie only acted like that on that interview because supposedly her and Trinity were dating. And I guess Trinity had broke her heart and that just caused her to blow up on the whole group. Now, I had no recollection of that. I did not know that. I'm not even 100% sure if that's true. But I did see that there were different fan pages that were dedicated to like their relationship or their sisterhood or whatever they had going on. But honey, if you mad at Trinity, why you gotta take it out on everybody? Like, what did everybody else do to you? And similar to Tatyana and Shania, you've been rocking with Shania the longest. You probably was rocking with Shania way before Trinity even came in. So why is Shania in it? And of course, you know Charm is good for clapping back, so they even got on their own interview and briefly addressed it and then went about the rest of their day.
With WeRCharm, y'all been through a few members, but it's said that y'all are kind of like known to break artists. Really, that's what WeRCharm is about. Y'all are talented group.
Yeah, you know, we got clout. A lot of people in Atlanta love us, and every time somebody comes in our group, they just leave with a lot, thanks to us. Yeah, I mean, we still cool with them, but people, they just like to take advantage and stuff like that. We're proud of them, but, you know, people not loyal. And not trying to sound cocky, but is this the truth?
So, let's get into it. The reason why I feel like this was the nail in the coffin for Charm as a whole, Kodie Shane was very big at this time. Kodie had signed to Lil Yachty and became a part of the sailing team. And if y'all were on Instagram during that day, you know the All In video went viral because of Kodie Shane's verse. So this is someone who is now in the spotlight, like freshly in the spotlight. Unknown artist, everybody wants to get to know them, be all up in their gig, be all up in their business. And of course, every artist has a backstory. Now, I don't feel like because you're up, you're supposed to put Charm on, because by this point, Charm was definitely on its last leg as a group. But it's the principle of the matter that not only did you not even acknowledge them to where people could even get to know them or decide that on their own, but when you diss them and you say things like, oh nah, they wasn't even all that good, they was trash, they was this, they was that, that makes people not even want to check for them. That makes people not even want to try to look for them, okay? Because they fave artists just said, don't even worry about it, it wasn't worth it. So of course you're gonna follow what they say, like we ain't even about to dig it up, we just gonna leave it where it's at because she said don't dig it up. This was also very big because this was also during a time where Charm was going through one of their changes again. Because if you paid attention to that interview, those are not the same people. That's not Jiah, that's not Destiny. This is when Kash and Journey had first joined the group. So it's like they're trying to rebrand themselves, and you just came in and basically just took a dump on them and they whole entire name. And to add insult to injury, this was also during a time where Shania and Trinity's pages kept getting hacked. So the more they kept getting hacked, the more followers they were losing. Because again, like I had said way earlier, there was a point in time where I was following Shania. I stopped following Shania because she got hacked, and she done got hacked like 3 different times within 1 year. So I just assumed she wasn't getting that page back. And after I unfollowed her, I low-key forgot she even existed. I ain't even trying to lie to you. So it was just a lot of things that were happening where this could have came at a way better time, honestly. But is it Kodie's fault? No, because again, they were on their last leg anyways. But still, you don't diss the people that helped you. You don't diss the people that put you on. That was just really mean, really disrespectful, and I pray for them. So that brings us to our last segment, and now we are going to discuss what happened to the members of WeRCharm after WeRCharm. And yes, I will be talking about every single member. Now, shout out to the Miss Unidentified Girl. I hope you're doing great in life. I hope she's prosperous. I hope she's, you know, blossomed into a beautiful young woman and she's successful at everything that she does. So shout out to you, but I couldn't find any information on her. So that brings us to Shania. Shania owns a hair company called Shy So Hollywood Co. And it looks like as of recently, she started doing laminating eyebrows. She briefly attended Georgia State University, and she still makes music to this day. Shockingly, it seems like her relationship with Tatyana and Sydney are actually still intact and they're cool. Were they able to make amends? I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that she's following them and they're following her back. Tatyana attended and graduated from Tennessee State University. I remember there was a point in time where she had a clothing line. I'm not 100% sure if that's still active and going on, but I do know that she still makes music to this day. Asia went to nursing school and is now a registered nurse. Kodie is signed to Epic Records, obviously is closely affiliated with Lil Yachty, and has released 7 projects so far. Sydney also attended and graduated Georgia State University. She owns an athleisure brand called She Bodied, and from the looks of her Instagram, she is now a fitness guru. Trinity graduated from high school, and for a moment she was doing hair, but it looks like she stopped doing hair and now her main focus is actually breeding French bulldogs. Taylor now goes by kdiorstudios and still makes music, and she was a contestant on the competition show The Pop Game. Peyton is also still making music, along with Xiamara making her own independent music. Autumn is also making music, but she also graduated from Howard University. Jiah now goes by Jiah, and she still makes music. And I remember there was a point in time where she was selling swimsuits, but now she sells hair care products. Kash is now a lash tech. She also has her hand in selling hair. Journey is still making music as well. Destiny is a singer-songwriter. And RJ has a cosmetic line where she also sells hair, and she's currently trying out YouTube. But wait, we're not finished. In 2018, WeRCharm released 3 unreleased singles from what was supposed to be their album. This was from the group that was formed from 2014 to 2016. And from what I was able to find, WeREntertainment, which was the management company that Charm was under, is now dissolved from 2017. And to everyone's surprise, on June 20th, 2022, Charm had a reunion photo shoot. This reunion photo shoot included the members that were present in 2014 to 2016. So that includes Shania, Trinity, Xiamara, Peyton, and Autumn. After that, their Instagram page and their Twitter page has become completely inactive. So I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that Charm has finally closed its doors and no longer is a band. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of what happened to WeRCharm. I gotta say, I had a lot of fun making this video. It was a lot of work. It's a lot of work, a lot of piecing puzzle pieces together. It was a lot. So I hope y'all enjoyed the work that I put in. And again, if you were mentioned in this video and you did not want to be affiliated with Charm, I am so sorry, but y'all beef ain't got nothing to do with me. So keep it away from me, okay? And to those people whose tweets I used, I'm sorry if I made you cringe, because I know what that feels like when you get reminded of your past self, and I'm not doing it to be malicious. Again, it was just for educational entertainment purposes. I do want to give a special shout out to WeRCharm and everyone whose content I used in this video. I am giving you guys credit in the description below, as well as putting your names on the clips that I used. And I want to give you guys a big thank you for having those. And of course, a huge thank you to the audience that is watching and has been anticipating this video. So before we go, please don't forget to like this video if you like this video. Comment down below if you want me to make another video like this, because at this point, this might as well just be a series. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so that you can be uploaded whenever I post. And of course, share if you can. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.